So this should be so this should be interesting. A title fight. Soar taking on Callum McGiley of England. Good aggressive power puncher with good defense. Not very accurate. Let's see if he can bang with Soar for the entirety of a fight. He is a southpaw. He should be tricky. Let's see how he does against the reigning defending super featherweight champion, a 3-division world champion, I believe. At least a 2-division world champion in Soar. For sure, one of the goats of the save. Kind of a low volume fight so far. Guiley is hanging in there, man. Now he's no Soar's lower on energy. This is a really tough, close fight to score. Soar controlled the first half of the fight through round 6, but Guiley has really come into his own in the last few rounds. And it's another big round for him, and he's got Soar completely drained of energy. This is such a tough fight to call. And now he may be chasing a finish here with 50% of his energy left. Such a tough fight to score. Judge 1 for Guiley, and all 3 judges score it for the new super featherweight champion of the world, Callum Guiley. That was a great fight. That was a close fight. And Soar, wow, his 3rd professional loss now at 37-3. A 2-weight world champion. He never won a championship at featherweight, but he didn't lose at featherweight either. And we've also signed a few new fighters, so let's go through those. Here's Albert Ziegler. I believe I just signed this guy out of the scouting screen. Good punching accuracy, good defense, good takes punishment, projectable, high upside, but he cuts a little easy. That's about the only downside. Good amateur record as well. Don't think Eric Forbes is new. Don't think Antonio Calderon is new. No, he's not new. That's strawweight. Robbie Mazzone, we signed from Hyde Park, New York. I like the 7 aggressiveness. I like the punching. I like the defense, the chin, and the intangibles. The right column, pretty dreadful, all things considered. But you like to see 20 conditioning and 19 dedication in there, though. And he's still pretty young, and he's a local guy. So we like Robbie Mazzone. We'll see what he has. Phil Green, I believe, is new as well. Fun Canadian heavyweight I signed from the rankings. Don't know why I signed this guy. Just felt like adding another fighter to Smoke.ud. Smoke.ud. Yeah, somebody better go Smoke.ud. Eric Cardiana, cannot believe we got this guy out of the scouting screen. This is one of our best welterweights. He's going to come right in and be a big presence in the welterweight division. 20 punching accuracy, 19 punching power, 18 aggression, 20 dedication, 20 intelligence, 16 ring IQ, 19 stamina. The conditioning may be one of the only things holding him back from being an absolute championship level fighter, no doubt about it. He's a contender, though. I'll be very surprised if he's not one. And we have 3 very good welterweights here. It always seems like we get prospects in bunches in a division, or fighters in bunches in a division. Mitchell, Mccreary, and Cartagena now, all going to be welterweights. And we have 2 super welterweights as well, in Andy Fitch and Corey Barboza. And Darius Mitchell is also a welterweight as well. Saddam Williams and Ray Reed down here. We got a lot of welterweights, man. We've got a lot of welterweights right now. It's a stacked division right now, so it makes a lot of sense. We're trying to hold our own as best we can. And Matthew Ganaway, an Olympic gold medalist, as we can see right there, our most prized amateur prospect, has turned pro. Disappointed in the defense, disappointed in the punch power, but we can get that punch accuracy up to 20. He should still be a special fighter. There's some things about him, though, that I don't like. He is only 18 years old. So we might be a little well-advised to take it slow. And he's got plenty of XP right from the start here that we can put, hopefully, into some defense and into some punching accuracy. Because that's really what we're going to want to level up on Matthew Ganaway here to start his career. So hopefully it's an exciting career for Matthew Ganaway. It's going to be really interesting to see. This is going to be an interesting fighter for sure. And Gilberto Gomez going for 40-0 against Ben Coyle of Northern Ireland. His first career title fight. All of his losses have come at a contender level or above. A couple wins over impressive competition. Jose Valerio, Zhanping Chen, Luis Emilio Dominguez. He's definitely earned the title shot, albeit it is tough to earn a title shot in the welterweight division. 41 years old, Ben Coyle. So it took him some time. This is the result of a long career of hard work for Ben Coyle. So let's see if he can defeat the has-to-be Massive favorite, Alberto Gomez. And it's a knockdown on the first punch for Gomez. It was a flash knockdown. Coyle got right back up, but that's a 10-8 round for Gomez to start the fight. And Coyle is already the more damaged fighter. He does land some shots on Gomez there in round 3. And they're both damaged. I don't like how much damage Gomez is taking so far in this fight. It's always the case with these older fighters. And there's another knockdown, second knockdown of the fight for Gomez. So despite taking some damage, he's taking care of business. And it looks like he's going to get Coyle out of there pretty quick. Coyle fighting off the back foot. There's the third knockdown of the fight, and that is the 40th consecutive win. 40-0, Alberto Gomez. And don't forget, he's in his 3rd or 4th weight class. One of the most incredible champions of this entire save. And still undisputed. Just an incredible career for Alberto Gomez so far, and more to come. And yeah, he is a 3-weight world champion. He is a 3-weight world champion, lightweight, super lightweight, and welterweight. And he had to work his way up in welterweight too. He started from the bottom at welterweight. It's pretty incredible what he's managed to do. 30 knockouts. Imagine 15-0 in title fights, man. I'm just so jealous. I'm just so jealous. I really am. I can't hide my jealousy. Big heavyweight fight. Michael O'Malley versus Boban Petrovic for the Champ Magazine IBF WBO titles. I feel like this isn't Boban Petrovic's first title shot, but it is. And will he make good on it against Michael O'Malley, a fighter many people like to complain about being overrated? Mainly James Ray fans. Can Boban Petrovic make all those James Ray fans Boban Petrovic fans? Yeah. Yeah, he can. And Michael O'Malley was completely overrated. We were right the entire time. And Boban Petrovic is now the champion of the world. The heavyweight division with some interesting stuff going on. Michael O'Malley threw one punch in that fight. His punching ability has always been harped on by people, and it was proven right there. Boban Petrovic with big power punching pretty much beat the crap out of Michael O'Malley. And he is now the heavyweight champion of the world. And Michael O'Malley, that's a little embarrassing for both him and honestly a little bit embarrassing for James Ray. How did you lose to that dude, James? How did James Ray get dragged into a war by that guy? It's kind of hard to believe. But hey, that's the fight game. Right now, you got to say that Arturs Margenis is the real heavyweight champion of the world. We love him. We love Arturs Margenis. But Danny Snow also, but his chin is cracked. Unfortunately, he's kind of a titan, but his chin is cracked. Hector Rivera, kind of an empty little heavyweight division for one of our guys to come into. To be honest with you, it really is. I don't know where the hell Gervonta Williams is, but for my money, that's the guy that I would see looming. They don't know this dude is down here. They don't know this dude is down here looming, but he is, and he's already got 1 million fans. And one day I'll go and learn. One day I'll go and learn about Gervonta Williams. One day everybody will know. And he's fighting tonight against Jonathan Benitez. Here's the card. I feel like Hartman and Owusu have fought already. Maybe not. The Diamond looking to come back from his title loss. Sean Barrett versus Hainsworth. The unnerving one versus Serrano. Max Rice with another fight against the Journeyman, which you always love to see. Barry versus Chris Mahashin and Kusamano versus Bernal. A couple of our younger fighters are going to make their debuts on a couple cards that we've scheduled coming up. Kusamano should be able to make a quick work of Bernal. And there we go. It's a round 4 KO for Alvin Kusamano. Leroy Barry versus Chris Mahashin. It's going to be a 10-rounder, interestingly enough, but Barry takes care of work in round 3 to advance to 3-0. Ortiz Adorno versus Gonzalo Peterson, a couple veterans. Great first round for Adorno. So we're going to pile on pressure in round 2. Finish what we started. Not seeing much pressure being piled on. We'll go back to natural style. There we go. I just want punches from Adorno. It seems like when we put him on natural style, he throws a lot. But this might get all... This is kind of a good fight, weirdly. He's won some rounds. He's won 5 rounds. It says we're down 5-4, but we won that first round big. Let's just pile on pressure for one last round and see what happens. We have a big round, and we get the stoppage with 25 seconds left. Alberto Ortiz Adorno, impressive win there. Let it drag on for a little long, but got it done. Max Rice versus Boniface Simasiku. A couple of journeymen going to battle here. Lots of damage done by both fighters in the first rounds. Simasiku was the more damaged fighter in round 2 than Rice in round 3. Now they're both damaged. Who is the larger man here? Nobody. They're both 5'2". And we get a knockdown here in round 7. And in round 8, Max Rice gets the finish. And Max Rice just keeps winning, man. 32 career wins for Max Rice. The attributes have never quite popped off the page, but man, Max Rice can put together a performance when he needs to. And the Unnervin one, looking to go for his 30th career win, Steve Unnervin. Steve Irvin. Jesus, Unnervin Steve Irvin. Let's take a look at the XP growth. He doesn't have any. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, he's 27, but he's an old 27 for sure. Much like Tony Seals. And didn't show it there. 30th career win for Steve Irvin, and his 26th career KO over the undefeated Curtis Serrano. Impressive performance there. Vashon Barrett versus Jose Hainsworth. Barrett going to go to the body, looking for his 15th win. A cover up here after we took damage. Was Barrett taking some lumps in this fight against Hainsworth? And it's a close fight on the scorecards as well. But we have a knockdown, but we just keep losing all of these rounds. And we're going to look for a KO here and then pile on pressure in the final round. And we get the KO. On look for KO. And Vashon Barrett is now 15-0 with 15 knockouts. There was never anything to worry about. Randy Dale in his comeback fight here after his title defeat, facing Wilbrith Porter. 17-2 from Virginia Beach, and it's a first-round KO for Randy Dale, man. He did not like losing that title fight. He had a good training camp, and he was angry. He was mad. He was ready to come in and knock him out, and he did. First round, 1 minute into the fight. It's Randy Dale. After the loss to Andrea Forey. What has happened to Andrea Forey? He's still the middleweight champion. He has no defense scheduled. He's just sitting on that belt that he won from us. And we're running already to take it back. Hartman versus Owusu. Rico Hartman, 21-1 out of Oklahoma City. Just always seems to put on a good performance, but he's in a bit of trouble now. We're going to go to the all reliable jab and move for Rico Hartman. Some action out of Rico Hartman at some point. It's a terrible round. And now I'm going to jab and move for one more round. But Rico Hartman's in trouble here against Owusu. He might get stopped. We're going to look for a KO here in the final round. And that is a pretty lopsided loss there for Rico Hartman. Definitely the worst performance of his career. Don't know where that came from. Hopefully that's just a blip. Hopefully that's just a bad night. Those happen sometimes. These are human beings. We don't get any stamina loss. Don't get any attribute loss. And we're still young, 24, so it's not a big deal for Rico Hartman. Hopefully. He should stay a contender for a long time. And Javonna Williams, hopefully he can put on a much better show against Jonathan Benitez. This is a fight Javonna Williams should win fairly easily. Fairly easily. How about one punch KO? Walks out to the middle of the ring and puts Jonathan Benitez away with one single punch. The World Eater. I think it's time. I think it's time. This episode's going to be called One Punch KO, almost for sure. And Javonta Williams is going to get his World Eater nickname finally bestowed upon him because he earned it with that. We would level him up, but there's nothing to level up. We like literally can't level anything up. We can level up his dirtiness, and we can level his stamina. His defense can go up to 20. His chain can go up to 19. His cut tendency is only a 7. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say. If you want to know what a great fighter looks like, it looks like that. What you just saw, those attributes. World Eater. The World Eater. Bow down. Live in fear. And Andrea Forey is going to unify those titles against Bill Donnelly. And he's probably not going to succeed, but that should be a good fight. You could argue that's what we should have done with Randy Dale, but you know what? I didn't have the nuts. I didn't have the balls. That's actually all it was. I'm a coward. That's why we didn't do that. That's why we took that defense against Forey. And Forey recognized. Forey went, yeah. But yeah, Forey realized that we were a total little bitch by not unifying against Bill Donnelly, so he's going to do it for us. And then we have our event, of course. But Emerson Gomez versus Vadim Uzalkov. This is a crazy fight. Uzalkov has certainly worked hard in the light heavyweight division to earn this title shot. Actually coming up from super middleweight, much like Emerson Gomez, who I believe started as a middleweight. No, super middleweight. Super middleweight legend, however, moving up to light heavyweight. And is now the undisputed champion defending against Uzalkov. Uzalkov wins the first 2 rounds. Third round to Gomez. Pretty lopsided and a knockdown for Uzalkov in the fourth. And this fight is going very well for Vadim Uzalkov, except for some of the damage he's taking. Gomez is managing to damage him actually more. Could be that Gomez takes punishment well. It could be that Uzalkov doesn't. But Uzalkov is winning this fight right now. Uzalkov. We'll switch pronunciations, and it's a big... Uzalkov just pours on there at the end of that round. It looked like Gomez was about to take his 3rd round in a row, and Uzalkov did not take kindly to that and then turn the gas back on. Now he's the only fighter with any stamina left heading here into round 12 with Gomez down. It's not looking good. It's another knockdown, and this time Gomez doesn't get up, and Vadim Uzalkov, there is a brand new, undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. And he has 7 punch power and 11 punch accuracy. And a huge super middleweight title fight here between, I think we've watched a Yankovic fight before, Milos Yankovic. Yeah, he beat Pavel Aldaganov. We watched that fight for sure. Here at super middleweight, and he's going to take on Heinz Klein of Germany, who is 17-1. Doesn't look like he's quite on the level of Yankovic, but we shall see. We're going to see right now who's on what level. Yankovic, good first round, good second round for Klein. Even round 3. How many times have we said that? They trade rounds, and third round's even. And the next 2 rounds are pretty close, trading damage. Now, Klein the more damaged fighter. Klein with a good round to start, but Yankovic finishes better. There's still 4 rounds left, and Klein doesn't have anything left in the tank. He wins round 8, drops round 9. Round 10 goes to Yankovic, who looks like he's starting to pull away, but it's a good round for Klein. And another good round for Klein. And Klein wins on Judge 1's scorecard. Judge 2 scores it for Yankovic, and Judge 3 scores it for Klein. Man, what a crazy close fight. And I don't know if I agree with taking an undefeated world champion's 0 away in that manner. I think Yankovic did enough, but the judges see it for Klein by the absolute narrowest of split decisions possible. That is one of the more controversial decisions of the entire save. And Martin Castro versus Black Williams of Jamaica. Martin Castro, of course, taking Fred Morales' 0, and Black Williams doing a good job in the first round. It's a good second round for Williams. Castro, could he be about to get his 0 taken? Doesn't look like it. Steps on the gas there in round 4. Round 5 belongs to Castro as well, and now he's chasing down Williams for a finish. Williams manages to land a little damage there in round 7, but yeah, Castro is on the front foot in this fight, and he gets the finish in round 9 to improve to 28-0, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. And it's time for Rigoberto Grant versus Jose Fundora. Here is the full card. Soto versus Chapman, and Grant versus Fundora at the top of the bill. Carlito Furlano from Canada making his debut, and he gets a round 2 KO to start his career. Raul Williams, matchup of undefeated young cruiserweights. Raul Williams and Clarence Butcher. They trade the first 2 rounds. And we do win that fight narrowly. We dropped some rounds there, but the judges score it for us 58-56. That's pretty correct. I think we won that fight. Todd Lopez versus Victor Emmanuel Gomez. And Lopez with a quick knockout to improve to 9-0. Nice. Always important to have those quick knockouts, especially with a guy with low punch power, and especially in a division like bantamweight. So Todd Lopez with another KO, and he's shown a penchant for KOs despite lacking that 1 punch power. Saddam Williams looking to improve to 4-0 over Donnie Bergman. And Saddam Williams, pretty good effort there over 3 rounds to get the win. Now it's 2 veterans Dangerous Darius Mitchell versus Christian Avado. And Mitchell needs to string some wins together, and that's not what's happening right now. As Votto damages him. We're going to just have to box. And we get knocked out. And we're going to examine Darius Mitchell here for a minute. Somebody needs their situation sussed out. I don't think he's cooked yet. He's still got talent. He's still got time. A weight change. It says the only possible thing is a weight change down. And I don't really think that's the right idea. I don't think Darius Mitchell is a super lightweight. It's really screaming out to me. I think, weirdly, I'm just going to keep him on this. No, that's not weird. I'm just going to keep him on this 2-fight contract, and if he wins his next fight, that will do wonders for my impression of him, certainly. Still, fight by fight with him, it kind of always has been. And Soto versus Chapman. Chapman with a big first round. Soto wins round 2. Soto wins round 3. Got Chapman damaged. Does a lot more damage there at the end of round 4 after a weak start to the round and piles on in round 5. Can he get the stoppage in the 6th? Nearly. And Soto gets the KO in round 10. Actually, I'm sorry, my mistake. It's a unanimous decision. I have no idea why I thought it was a knockout. He just beat Chapman up, though, for the entire fight. Wish it would have been a knockout. It's his first professional win that is not a knockout. So that might make Soto a little mad, actually. He wants to see that record have all KOs, I'd imagine. And it's a knockdown for Jose Fundora in the first round over Rigoberto Grant, who is known to struggle a little bit at times, but it's a good counterpunch round there for Rigoberto. And there is a knockdown and a knockout for Rigoberto Grant, who shakes off the early knockdown of his own to claim a victory. And that was a fun little event, I can't lie. And Emmanuel Soto is going to get a new contract as well. He hasn't been quite the prospect we expected him to be at the start, but you can't be disappointed with 16 knockouts in 17 wins. Li Fuzhou versus Jesus Valenzuela for the strawweight title of the world. Valenzuela, a big favorite coming in. And it's a 3-punch KO. That's tough to do at strawweight. Jesus Valenzuela is a special fighter down here at the lightest weight class in boxing. And Nathan Gonsalves versus Dwayne Little. This is the second time these two have faced off. Gonsalves won the first. Gonsalves, the current cruiserweight champion of the world. And a crazy round 3 there. Gonsalves started off doing most of the damage before Little came back and landed big power shots. Now Little doing more of the damage. Is he about to avenge his loss to Gonsalves? Gonsalves piles on. These two were going at it. Little had him right up against it, but Gonsalves not taking too kindly to it. They're both past halfway through their energy here, only through round 5. So much damage being done by these two. They're both so exhausted already. As we enter round 7, it's a big round for Little, but he's almost out of energy. He manages to land more power shots on Gonsalves, but it doesn't do enough. Gonsalves looks like he's in a bit better of a position to finish this fight. He's got more energy. He takes a round, he takes another round, and now Little probably in trouble. He manages to hang in there in round 11, but this should be a pretty easy unanimous decision win for Nathan Gonsalves after all of that, and it is. It was a crazy fight in the first half, though, but it slowed down a little bit towards the end. But yeah, these middle rounds here were, man, you can bet the crowd was all on their feet. And guess who's got a title fight next? It's Andy Fitch here at Dignity Health Sports Park, the old stomping grounds. It's a pretty short card, but it's headlined by Andy Fitch versus Alexander Turba for Alexander Turba's WBC and IBF Super Welterweight titles of the world. This is Andy Fitch's second chance in the Super Welterweight division at a title shot. We thought for a long time he'd never get another one after Joe Hoon, especially after these other losses, but we stuck with flick of the switch, and he just kept flicking the switch, keeps knocking people out, and he's got his 4th shot for a world title tonight. And Frankie Edwards versus Badu Cody is going to be an awesome fight on the undercard. As this has been a sneaky little 6-rounder here for Max Nieves, who looks like he may be about to lose this fight here after this knockdown. He needs a big round here in round 6. And he gets knocked down again, and that's for sure a loss, as Max Nieves is handed his first professional loss in a 6-round contest, which is never easy to take. Walter Velasco's professional debut. Rafael Stevens versus George Baez. Rafael Stevens, 3-0. And maybe not anymore, taking heavy damage here from the 500 Jorge Baez. And Stevens, off the back foot in round 9, lands a KO. And how about that? Baez was in complete control of that fight. And Stevens off the back foot lands the KO in the 9th round. Ali versus Ajiho. And Ali with the first round KO. Staying special, Tony Ali. Frankie Edwards versus Badu Cody. How's this for a veteran matchup? Big first round from Cody. And Cody is just taking it to Frankie Edwards. Frankie Edwards is going to need to get inside here. Methinks. Go to the body. No. Frankie's got to do something here. Okay. I mean, let's jab. Let's try jab and move, because I mean, we've tried everything else. That kind of works. Let's keep doing it. All right, I'm just gonna go for broke here with 9% left. Frankie Edwards has pretty much screwed this fight up completely. We're gonna smother inside in this round, and then we're just gonna go for broke again and probably get KO'd, and we do. Oh no, we took a bunch of damage. It's a brutal one-sided beatdown for Badu Cody over Frankie Edwards. That's a disappointing result there for Frankie. Let's take a look at Frankie Edwards real quick. Super middleweight hailing from New York. He's in really brutal form right now. But it could just be a pretty extended fraud check here at the top levels of the division. 2 losses to Badu Cody, losses to Tommy Helms and Costanzo. A decent wins, though. Also, Joseph Antoine Champion, specifically a very good win. Abel Jimenez. He's had some good wins in this weight class. So it's not that I don't believe in Frankie Edwards. I don't know that a move up to light heavyweight would be smart at all. He's made plenty of money. I see no problem. I think we just keep him around. I'm still a Frankie Edwards fan, even though that was a bad effort. He might just not be quite a contender at super middleweight. He could be more of a gatekeeper level guy. Patterson 12-0, the Casper Ghost. Not looking very ghostly up until then, until he absolutely ghosts Callisto Alexander into the Shadow Realm. 13-0 for Carlos Patterson. And Andy Fitch versus Alexander Turba. I got to do a proper intro for Turba, so I got to do some research on him. Okay. All right. He's just a... Wow, so this is his first fight that isn't against Joe Hoon. He just finished up a quadrology against Joe Hoon where he won 3 of 4. And Andy Fitch, of course, lost his last title shot to Joe Hoon, and now he is stepping up to face Turba. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, hailing from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. He holds a professional record of 31 wins, 7 defeats, and 1 loss with 28 wins, coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Baltimore, Maryland, USA, he is the former North American welterweight champion, the former North American super welterweight champion, and a former super welterweight world title challenger, Andy Flick of the Switch Fitch. Hailing from Bratislava, Slovakia, he is the current reigning, defending WBC IBF super welterweight champion of the world, Alexander Turba. All right, let's do this thing. Good first round for Fitch. Come on, Andy. Andy's mad. Andy did not like all those title losses. He's piling on pressure. Come on, Andy Fitch. Come on, Andy Fitch. Andy Fitch is a world champion. Let's go. Let's go. And new WBC IBF super welterweight champion of the world, Andy Flick of the Switch Fitch. That was a dominant performance by Andy Fitch. 61 to 22. He beat the crap out of Alex Turba. And we have a 2-belt world champion, and his name is Andy Fitch. What a rebuild. What a comeback. Y'all were hating. Alexander Turba beat Joe Hoon 3 times. And Andy Fitch just put him on skates. What a fight by Andy Fitch. What a win. And you never thought you'd see the day. I cannot wait. There it is. There it is. World champions, Andy Fitch. What else do you want to see from this playthrough? Andy Flick the Switch Fitch is a champion of the world. And it's time for Brian Mitchell versus Brandon Foley. My Zone making his debut today. Cardiana fighting. Robert Filippone fighting, looking to work his way up the heavyweight division. I'm very excited by how weak the heavyweight champions seem to me right now. Still buzzing about Andy Fitch. That is just awesome. I thought we would never see the day. What a rebuild, though, man. He really settled in at that lower weight, at super welterweight. At the higher weight, actually, I think Andy Fitch. Yeah, he went up. Oh, no, he didn't. He went down from middleweight. That's right. He did. He went down from middleweight. Yeah, Andy Fitch really settled at after coming down from middleweight. Just took him a while. Bad round for Martinez. And then he knocks out Montoya with 5 seconds left in round 3. Michael Brandino versus Kuma Suleiman. Things just get a little bit more low-key for these one-loss fighters, but development is still development. Let's get this finish here. How is he not done? How is this not over? Suleiman hanging in there. Come on. And there we go. Brandino with his 9th professional win. And My Zone making his debut for the promotion against Malcolm Temple. All-American matchup here. My Zone dominating, providing a lot of volume, looking really good. I like what I'm seeing here. I'm not seeing any finish, but I'm seeing some good boxing from Robbie My Zone, who's going to pile on pressure. And it doesn't look like we're going to get any finish here, but it's a absolutely dominant 10-round unanimous decision win for Robbie My Zone at a super lightweight. Filippone versus Selden. Ooh, bad first round for Filippone. And then he gets the KO in round 2, settles in, finds the range, and knocks out Brandon Selden. Cardiana versus Tony DeLuke. Cardiana looking to improve to 14-0. Is it Cardiana or Cartagena? I don't know. Either way, he got a knockout in the second round with 52 seconds left over Tony DeLuke. Brian Mitchell versus Brandon Foley. Can Brian Mitchell advance to 20-0 or 20-0-1? Probably not. He just got absolutely hammered in the first round, taking 26 punches from Brandon Foley, who doesn't like that he is not a member of our gym. He's from New York and he wants to be a member of our gym. We're not going to sign him, especially if he takes Brian Mitchell 0. And it looks like he just might be about to. Man, this guy, I don't know how he survived that. He was like 90% and then took 15 punches and didn't die. Brian Mitchell, I mean. As we jab and move, we're still in this fight, man. He's just not finding it, huh? He's just not finding it unless we pile on pressure. Pile on pressure seemed to work, and we did it again, and it did work there. And Brian Mitchell bails himself out of a pretty rough performance against Brandon Foley. And we're going to think about Brian Mitchell for a sec, because he's one of our best fighters, southpaw, in a very crowded welterweight division. And he's now 20-0, but I feel like it's been a couple rough performances in a row. I don't mind upping his conditioning, but I don't know why. Oh, he only has 6,000 available. I think I'd rather wait and upgrade the ring IQ that takes punishment, truth be told. It could be a little bit of a slower burn for Brian Mitchell. Maybe not rush him into a title shot because he hasn't looked too good in his last couple fights. And Gomez and Oleg Yakupov are going to run it back again. Let's see if Yakupov can beat him at the second time of asking. And Michael O'Malley is going to get a rematch against Boban Petrovic. I'm sure all of his haters will be whining on Twitter. And Raymond Pena versus Larry Hamlin. Going to start with Matthew Ganaway's professional debut. Trent Flint fighting tonight as well. Ray Reed And Phil Green with Raymond Pena versus Larry Hanlon as the top spot. Larry Hanlon, a fun, quick-handed Irish prospect against Raymond Pena, who had a chance. Who was it we could have fought with him? He's a super lightweight. There was some super lightweight champion that I had a chance to take a fight against, and I just didn't. It was Antonio Diaz. Like, I'm just gonna pass. I don't want to kill him. And I'm sorry that every once in a while you gotta just turn down a title shot. Like, I don't want to kill Raymond Pena. He's not beating that dude. There's gonna be an easier champion one day if that guy moves up, if he vacates. Yeah, we're just gonna wait and have Raymond Pena take on more interesting, more fulfilling challenges, shall we say. Speaking of fulfilling challenges, Matthew Ganaway, 20 IQ, making his ring debut. And it's going to be a round 3 TKO. Easy work for Ganaway. Albert Ziegler, also an exciting young prospect from Aspen Hill, making his professional debut. Bad start. Good second round. And it's a bad third round. Well, not bad, but even. But the work that we do, far more important, far more damaging. And Albert Ziegler with the third round TKO. Michael Sosa versus Ramon Luis Gomez. Okay, then. Sosa, we put him on jab and move, and he gets a knockdown. This is an action-packed 6-rounder. And we get a TKO. That might have been sketchy if we let it go to the points, but with a minute 10 left, Michael Sosa gets the finish. We got hit a lot, though. 95 shots and a knockdown in 6 rounds. Trent Flint versus Omar Cruz. Trent Flint knocked down, answers with a knockdown himself. Crazy first round in the cruiserweight division. 2 knockdowns, 1 each. Going back and forth now. Flint, the more damaged fighter. He's taking heavy damage from Omar Cruz. I'm just going to go for broke here, to be honest with you. Let's settle this thing here in round 4. Let's just settle this thing now. Why not? If it's going to be all action, let's just have it be all action. That is relatively a round off. We're going to smother inside as he has 12% left. And that works. We drain off his energy. He's outlanding us slightly, but it's 2 takedowns to 1 now. 3 takedowns to 1 as he survives a 3rd knockdown. And we're just going to stay on natural style. And Trent Flint is going to get out of here with a crazy unanimous decision win in a 10-round fight. And that's got to be a fun first 10-round fight there for Trent Flint. And Calderon fighting Fairbridge Nquanqua. And I don't know why they didn't score that for Calderon. But we just got robbed in a fight that we won. For some reason, they gave that to Nquanqua. Antonio Calderon fans remember that one. I mean, we should have jabbed and moved maybe with that punch accuracy a little more, height advantage. I really don't know. I have no idea how they justify us not winning that fight. We barely took any damage at all. Moving on, Reed versus Hainsworth. Whoops. Action-packed first round. Good second round for Reed. Good third round for Reed. And he's just winning round after round now. He's going to chase the finish here. Pile on pressure and Ray Reed. With the win. Phil Green versus Yves Thompson. A couple veteran Canadians heading off the undercard here. Heavyweight matchup. And it's a knockdown for Thompson. Can Green recover? We're just going to pile on pressure here. Keep going. So much action in this fight. We're going to go to the body here to try to knock down some of that 46%. It's another crazy round. We're going to smother inside. Try to take more of his energy. We're going to look for KO. With what energy hopefully is still left in the tank. And we get knocked down, but we come back and land a bunch of damage. Land 20 shots. We've taken 2 knockdowns. We're ahead on strikes, though. We probably are going to lose this fight on the cards, but that might not be fair. It looks like we've got all these round wins, and he's got 2 knockdowns. So it's going to be a really interesting question of who wins this fight. I say we go for broke in the final round. I say we just have fun. Man, what a fight. What a fight. Can we run that one back? Canadian Heavyweight Classics, Volume 1. Phil Green versus Eves Thompson. We got to remember that one. That needs a rematch. The Canadian Heavyweight Championship. As Raymond Pena versus Larry Hanlon. Hopefully, Raymond Pena can stay safe here against a dangerous puncher. Good first round by Hanlon. Were we stupid to turn down that title shot? I don't think we were. We do get beaten. It's still a dangerous fighter. It's still a dangerous division full of dangerous fighters. So, yeah, maybe we should have taken the title shot because we would have lost in that same way. You can get as mad as me as you want to. I didn't want to fight that dude. I did not want to fight that super lightweight champion. What was his name? I didn't want to fight Antonio Diaz. I just didn't. Would it have been any different? I'll answer that for you. No, it wouldn't have been any different at all. We would have got knocked out. Unfortunately, that is going to do a lot of harm to Raymond Pena's career, at least for right now. And his chin is still pretty cracked. His chin, not that it wasn't before, but. And it's time for the last event of what has been an action-packed episode so far. And yeah, we're really getting into the thick of things now. It's crazy how long it took. But yeah, look at all the ranked fighters we have on the roster right now. So many different contenders at the same time. So many different possibilities for winning belts. So many different possibilities for high-ranking important fights. So things are really moving right now in this save. And it's going to be Mccreary versus Bobby Escoe, high-ranked welterweight matchup at the top of this card. Fred Morales trying to rebound off his 2-fight losing streak. Randy Dale versus Stephen Conquest. I believe this is a rematch. No, it's not. Wow. Stephen Conquest has fought just about everybody, man. Tafer, Foster, Dale, Badu Cody, Joe Hoon, Sithi Top King. He fought everybody, dude. He's fought everybody and then some. And he's fighting Randy Dale again today. I completely. Randy Dale. Has he fought Randy Dale? He has fought Randy Dale. He lost. Okay. So this is Dale versus Conquest 2. I thought that it was. Tony Seals is going to get a Thomas Herring in another fight to try to get back to the top of the middleweight division and the North American regional welterweight title between Gabriel Mccreary and the Canadian Bobby Escoe at the top of the card to round out this episode. Let's do it. Furlano making his debut for the promotion out of Canada. It's a 3rd round knockdown. Valerio gets back up, but then we put him right back down, and Furlano has his 2nd career knockout. Leroy Barry looking to go 4-0. Should be easy work here against Lespierre. And there's the 3rd round KO for Leroy Barry. Norm Zuski. Come on, Norm. Come on, Norman. There we go. Another round 3 TKO. I feel like there's been a lot of round 3 TKOs tonight. Can Fred Morales get back on the winning track? I don't know what we're going to do if he loses again. There we go. Round 1 TKO. Okay, so there's still something in the tank for Fred Morales. That is very relieving and very nice to see that he has not completely lost all of his skill. And Randy Dale against Stephen Conquest here. This should be a banger. Randy Dale came out and got an early lead, but then Conquest came back and started throwing a bunch. And even round 3. Big knockdown in round 4. Conquest gets back to his feet at the count of 9, but Randy Dale almost finished him, and he does in round 5. He never recovered from that big shot from Dale that knocked him down in round 4, and Dale gets the finish in round 5. So many knockouts in this episode. So much fun in this episode. Cotrill versus Ahmad Hilton. This is apparently a North American heavyweight title fight. Oh, yeah, well, Cotrill has the title. Can Hilton take it off him? Damage from Hilton. Lots of damage from Hilton. Uh-oh, Ricardo Cotrill. Gonna have to cover up. I hate these heavyweight fights sometimes. It's so easy to lose. It's 12 rounds. And we're just covering up. I'm going to look for a KO with Cotrill's big punching power. We haven't gotten finished yet. We're going to jab and move. This fight is still not over. We've been completely swamped pretty much the entire fight, and there's the KO. That was a bad performance by Cotrill. Hilton just outworked us, outpunched us. He didn't have good defense, but we didn't land shots. It was only 3 power punches from Cotrill, and that was a Bit of a discouraging performance from Ricardo Cotrill. He was not retired, but he's got a cut to his right eye, and his takes punishment is down pretty low. He's only 27, so let's see. Let's see how much more damage he can take over the course of his career. Unfortunately, that's something we're probably going to have to keep watching. But Ricardo Cotrill has done a tremendous job being a heavyweight for us so far in the save, of course. Maybe our greatest heavyweight of all time so far until Gervonta Williams really makes a name for himself, truly. Tony Seals almost gets the knockout on Herring there in round 2. And does get it in round 3. More round 3 TKOs. And it's Gabriel Mccreary versus Bobby Escoe for the North American welterweight title. Gabriel Mccreary, a heavy favorite in this one. Will we ruin our chances by going to the body? No. There's lots of damage in that round, though, for both fighters. That's a bad round for us. It's now we're the only damaged fighter. We're going to cover up. Good counter-punching work from Mccreary. We go back to natural style. And that doesn't work either, so we'll jab and move. Crazy action-packed round there on jab and move. I'm going to pile on pressure in this round, actually. Keep the action going. We take a lot of damage. It'll be another cover-up round for Mccreary as Escoe is effectively damaging us, but we still are not out of this fight. We just aren't winning it. As we are going to look for a KO in this round. I feel like that works better with the matchup. We're going to stay on look for KO in this round. That didn't work, but it's 0% to 0%, and we're going to be able to go for broke. And we get a knockdown. What does that do to the scorecards? We win it on Judge 1. It's a draw on Judge 2, and it's a win on Judge 3. And Gabriel Mccreary defends his belt. And that knockdown, without that knockdown, there's no way those scorecards come back for us. So incredibly lucky knockdown there for Gabriel Mccreary, and a great job to stay in the fight. Bobby Escoe almost got him out of there a few times. And Gabriel Mccreary stays collected, stays composed, and gets his 30th career professional win. Can you tell I've been recording for too long? 30th career professional win, and he is still the North American welterweight champion of the world, and that's going to do it for maybe the best episode of Boxing Manager so far. That looks so incredible. Andy Fitch up there with 2 world championship belts around his waist. How about it? The WBC IBF Super Welterweight Champion of the world. Andy, flick of the switch Fitch. It's like that Joe Hoon fight never even happened. How sweet it is.